Konnichiwa, Japan fans. In today's show, we're going to talk about sales and craziness. Eigo desu. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. This is the fourth year of the Sales Japan Series podcast, and we are broadcasting around the world from the Beverly Hills of Japan, Minato-ku. It is Chic Central. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guide committed to your success, the president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, the best-selling author, Japan Sales Mastery and Japan Business Mastery, and my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery, will be released shortly. In this podcast, I want to help you to survive COVID-19. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn, who, unlike many other podcast hosts, have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesdays, the Presentation Japan Series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan Series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan Series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 244, and we are talking about the craziness of sales in Japan. Japan's image as a sophisticated country with a solid, unique, traditional culture is well placed. For example, every year around 130,000 Shinkansen bullet trains run between Tokyo and Osaka, bolting through the countryside at speeds of up to 285 kilometers an hour, and boast an average arrival delay of 24 seconds. Think about that average, sustained over a whole year. Such amazing efficiency here is combined with basically no guns, no drugs, no litter, no graffiti, very little crime, and the people are so polite and considerate. If you step on their foot in the crowded subway cars, they apologise to you for getting their foot in the wrong place. If you drop your wallet, there is a close to 100% chance of you getting it back intact. Considering all of the above, and with the biggest concentration of Michelin 3-star restaurants in the world, no wonder Tokyo is the best city in the world to live in. Once COVID is contained, put Japan on your bucket list, folks. You won't regret it. Yet, sales professionalism is so far behind by Western standards. I'm going to make incredibly broad, general statements here, but actually they are true for most salespeople in Japan. How do I know? Well, we've been teaching sales training here since 1963, and these are the things companies consistently ask us to fix. Let's highlight a few things which may surprise you about sales in Japan. Number one, asking for the order is avoided. Saying no is culturally taboo, so the best way to avoid having to say it or to hear it is to save everyone's face and leave the outcome deliberately vague. There are shelves of books in English on how to close a sale. Many are in translation, but not a great take-up here as yet. Number two, when the seller meets any resistance from the buyer, the first reflex is to drop the price by 20%. Western sales managers would be apoplectic if this was the default objection handling mechanism. Here, defending your price through explaining the value is thrown overboard, and simple price point reductions are the preferred lever. Number three, Objection handling skills are weak because the seller sees the buyer not as a king, but as a god. The seller's job is to do everything God wants. The salespeople are predominantly on base salary and bonus remuneration arrangements, so not much commission sales fire in the belly going on here. Number 4, salespeople love the spec, the data, the detail. Not so keen on the application of the benefits. How do we know this? I am a buyer here too. And in they come, bearing their catalogue, flyer, or their slide deck to take me through all the details. Surprisingly, they never rise above the spec waterline to talk about value or benefits or how to apply the benefits. It is the same in our sales classes, and we see this phenomenon in the role-play sequences. Salespeople struggle to think about what the spec represents in terms of the benefits to the buyer. Find out more when we come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public programs, but we also do custom-made in-house classes. Now, we do them in our super safe classroom, we do them live online, and we do them in Japanese, and we do them in English. Today's show is brought to you by, on the 6th of July, Motivation Leadership. On the 9th of July, Vision, Mission, Values. On the 13th of July, How to Present Online. You can find out more about those programs on our website at enjapan.dalecarnegie.com, and you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Get my best-selling books, Japan Sales Mastery, the Bible for selling in Japan, and Japan Business Mastery, and my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery. If you like learning by watching videos, we have over 1,000 for you there on Japan Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, comes out Mondays. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders in Japan from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Now, every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. And don't forget, you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. Number 5. This opens up the can of worms about understanding buyer needs. By any definition, getting straight into the detail of the product or service without asking the buyer any questions is insanity. Yet, this is normal here. So much for all that slick American consultative sales jive. We are back to the God problem. The seller must not brook God's displeasure by rude behavior such as asking questions about what are their firm's problems. Number 6, ergo, the buyer completely controls the sales conversation. They demand the pitch to be made straight up so that they can lacerate it to make sure all the risk has been cut out. Buyers are incredibly risk-averse in Japan. This is a zero default, no errors, no mistakes business culture. This is great as a consumer, of course. However, the seller is not considered a partner here, more of a slave to the buyer's every whim and demand. Number 7. So, the Japan sales business process is pretty refined. There are only 3 steps. The salesperson opens with their pitch. Then we immediately move to client objections. Next, the buyer will get back to you, but probably not. How does any business get done here? Please see the next section. Number 8, sellers really prefer to concentrate on existing clients rather than running around trying to find new clients. They rely on the firm brand to do all the prospecting work rather than their skill as a professional in sales. Hunters are a rare breed of salesperson in Japan, as everyone prefers being a farmer. This is probably true of everywhere because obviously it is much easier to keep the business going than to start a new piece of business. Japanese salespeople just take it to new heights of speciality. Number 9, salespeople never think to ask permission of the buyer to ask questions. Such a simple thing, but so hard to break out of your own cultural context to actually execute. Once we teach them how easy it is, the scales literally fall from their eyes and they become true believers in asking questions before introducing anything about the detail of their solution lineup. The first foreigners who lived in Japan in the late 19th century often described Japan as a topsy-turvy world because so many things are opposite to what they were used to back in Europe and America. The differences are what makes it so fascinating and why I've been here for 36 years and I'm never leaving. These differences are also a big business opportunity too, as many companies have found, including ourselves. See you over here after COVID. Thank you for joining the Sales Japan series. If you found the program useful, please work on your karma and share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you've learned today, use it, and go out there and survive. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.